What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna. I am a filmmaker and obviously a YouTuber, and I make a lot of queer short films and content and lifestyle, and I want to get into like spirituality and like experimental film type stuff. And today I'm going to be doing a Q&Gay from questions that you guys asked me over on my Instagram, as well as questions on my post on YouTube. That was like the first ever post I've ever done. They're not all gay, some are just like kind of general. So if you don't know, I came out as bisexual. Someone asked me how did I come out. I was in a long-term relationship with a guy. I mean, like in high school. We were in a long-term high school relationship. Not to discount that relationship, but yeah, so I didn't question my attraction for men. I just realized that I also liked women, and had always liked women, but I just thought that all straight girls liked women to the extent that I did, and I thought it was like a girl crush because those were the times, you know, a la Ruby Rose and people talking about how they would like go gay for Ruby Rose, and I was like, me too, I'm just a normal straight girl. Surprise, bitch. No, I was not. Segueing into my most asked question, which is how to deal with internalized biphobia. To be honest, I still struggle with a lot of internalized biphobia myself. But I think that the number one key for me in dealing with my internalized biphobia is really just letting go of the need for labels, which I know is really hard because that's like, it's really complicated. I find comfort that my bisexuality to me is like openness to whoever I might meet, and knowing that like my love doesn't, you know, what's in people's pants doesn't matter to me, and that I never know like who I'm gonna meet. And like, yeah, maybe right now I am only interested in dating women. I don't have to change my label according to how I'm feeling that day, but that like I can just accept that my bisexuality is fluid, you know, and I believe that sexuality is fluid. My second most asked question is how to get a girlfriend if ... There's many variations of this question, but the first one was how to get a girlfriend if you look straight. And honey, I feel you on that. You know, women loving women problems are very real. And I would just suggest that you resist the urge to try to gayify yourself, because I did that for so long. I would want to look queer so that women would approach me, which meant kind of dressing more masculine. Resist the urge to be like, I need to dress this way if you're not feeling it, you know. If you look straight and you're trying to get a girl, I would recommend going to, you know, queer women friendly or focused spaces. I have a whole video on how to flirt with girls, and I'll link that so that you guys can watch that, because that kind of digs into like this a little bit more specifically. Another thing that I do is make it clear on my social media that I'm queer, which if you're not out could be difficult, but you could also like always make like a private Instagram that your friends and family don't have. And this leads into the question, how to get a girlfriend if you have social anxiety, because you're gonna be like, Jenna, I am not gonna approach that girl at the bar. I do not, nope. And I feel you. And in circumstances like this, I think that the digital world is extremely helpful. Like I said, on Instagram and things like that, you can be a little bit more subtle. You can like a bunch of her pictures, you know, and when you're in person, you can still kind of wait for the other person to make a move. This is where what I call gay eye contact comes in. At the gay bar, you see a girl, like just being in those places, even if you have social anxiety, people will be quicker to assume that you are queer, and you can make looks. I know it's scary, eye contact is scary, you don't even have to necessarily look her in her eyes, you just do the gay eye contact where you're like, you know, up and down, and you give her like the eyebrow. I've had to explain this to straight friends, they're like, what is gay eye contact? And I'm like, when you see it, you'll know, because it's just, it hits different, let me tell you. And for meeting queer women in general, especially if you have social anxiety, there are different, you know, organizations or groups. Like for example, I work in film, and there's organizations like Women in Film, for women specifically. So a lot of, you know, areas or things or interests will have women specific groups, and then within those organizations and within those groups, there will probably be some queer focused type things. And in circumstances like that, like especially if you don't want to initiate conversation, it's really important just to make yourself look really friendly, and the least that you can do is just like smile at people and give the gay eye contact, because then you will seem approachable for other people to approach you. How to meet girls and get a girlfriend if you are closeted. This is definitely a struggle too, because ultimately, like, people can be closeted for different reasons. I have casually dated girls that have been in the closet. I think as long as you're upfront with people that, like, you're not out of the closet, because it's something that people definitely have to, like, work through. But say that, like, you don't want a girlfriend. If you just want to meet, you know, queer women, I would definitely recommend doing what I was saying with, like, having a private Instagram, to kind of infiltrate the community that way. You can also go to pride events and stuff as like an ally. There's a lot of things that are spaces for queer people and allies, and people aren't necessarily going to ask you which one you are. So say you're in college and you want to join like the Gay Straight Alliance, or I think they have them in a lot of high schools too. I don't think that when you like show up to the Gay Straight Alliance organization meeting, they're going to be like, which one are you? Same thing for if you want to go to a pride event, which I would super recommend if you're closeted too. Like, there's a lot of straight allies that come to Pride, and you don't have to identify yourself any type of way. If you're closeted, going to a Pride event can really show you the kind of support and community that's there should you choose to come out. And it's just really comforting, I think, in a lot of ways to see. One thing I would not recommend, or I would recommend being really cautious about, is dating apps if you're closeted, because it is obviously a great way to meet people and connect with people. But if your picture, like, you have to be comfortable with the fact that your picture or your bio or whatever might get leaked. Because there was a time when I was not yet out of the closet that I matched with a girl on Tinder, and she screenshotted it and posted it on Twitter and was like, oh my god, I watched this girl's YouTube videos and just matched with her on Tinder, like, that's crazy. And she like tagged me, and I was like, delete that, I'm not out of the closet. Like, I was out of the closet in my college community, but I wasn't out of the closet to like my family or the internet. So that was like kind of stressful. So just be aware of that. And something that maybe if you like still want to join dating apps, you could do would be to like use your first initial or something, and maybe pictures where like your face is like a little obscured if you like want it to be less obviously you. That's just an idea. Where to meet queer people that is not hookup/alcohol culture related. I present to you the arts or sports team. A lot of gay bars and stuff also will do like a drag bingo night, which is a little bit less, you know, that's not like everyone's dancing and getting drunk as much, they're just playing bingo and getting drunk. They can have, you know, not as like clubby focused events, which are kind of cool sometimes. But yes, the arts, you know, if you're someone who is into theater, into music, into film, you know, arts draw the gays out. If you're not artsy, maybe join like a sports team, or like a, you know, they have even stuff that's like not serious sports. I have friends who play like dodgeball groups with their work, or like if you're in college, you can join not like the professional college ones, but like the for fun ones, the intramural, I think. Yeah, the intramural sports. I was not in sports after high school. I went to art school, chose that route. Also queer concerts. If you think of some of your favorite artists that either are queer or make queer music or just have a lot of queer followers, you can always go to those kinds of concerts or like events for them and like talk to people on Twitter beforehand or things like that. Also TikTok, if Trump doesn't take it down, oh my god, TikTok is like the dating app of this century, okay? Like, you can find all types of girls. It's really amazing. Slide into her DMs. I know I am. Someone needs to femme on femme relationship me like right now. If you know where TikTok that's from, we have the same For You page. Okay, anyways, people asked how to keep the conversation going on dating apps. I definitely feel that. I think it's really difficult sometimes on dating apps. Like, there are so many times where it just fizzles out. Like, if I'm actually talking to someone that I met on a dating app, like, it's 1 in 100, let's be real. But usually what works for me is if I know that I like legitimately like this person, I'll take the conversation like off of the app. I'll be like, oh, you know, especially in quarantine, like virtual dates are at your fingertips. And once you're like on a virtual date or like a real date eventually when the world reopens, that is like a true test of I think chemistry and like things to talk about. But for me, something that always works with queer women is talking about the fact that like you're both queer women. So you know, I think that the conversations get a lot deeper than they do oftentimes if I'm like going out with guys, because I'll just be like, oh, you know, did you always know that you were queer? Like, oh, what do you identify as? Or like, what's your coming out story? And there's a lot of bonding and shared experience. I find that the people I really connect with, conversations just kind of flows because you're vibing off each other. And I know it's hard over text message and like app conversation. But you know, people are boring texters on apps frequently, and if they're boring to talk to, like usually I just drop it. I'm not gonna try to like yank a conversation out of someone who's like, oh, not much, you know. Now for the more personal questions. Are you dating anyone? No. It's quarantine. I went through a breakup kind of like at the end of last year. Ultimately, just because I need to spend some time alone and like explore myself and what I want. And quarantine has been a great time to do that. I am excited to like date. And I do like dating, and like I am on the apps like talking to girls, but I'm not, I don't have a partner. I used to watch your acting videos all the time as a kid. Do you still act? That's crazy that like it's been so many years. It's been 10 years. Like, wow, I got the shivers. I want to act again someday. I, you know, focused really hard in school on directing and being behind the scenes, but I am really interested in, you know, getting back into it. Because I think it's a fun outlet and I don't want to like limit myself, you know. Any LGBTQ plus movies or shows you liked recently? Oh, you know it. Betty on HBO, so underrated. Check it out. Queer Girl Skaters, I love it. Sensei, it's not a new show, but it's one of my faves still. The Bisexual on Hulu, I think, is fantastic. Dead to Me has, season 2 has really good queer representation. As far as movies, I have loved the half of it recently and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Have you seen Love, Victor? I have not. That's on my list. Do you want to travel when quarantine is over? If so, where? Yes, I really want to get more into doing like documentary film type stuff, and so I don't know exactly where, kind of everywhere. I really want to go back to Southeast Asia. I went to Thailand, I have vlogs, and I really, really want to go to South America. Do you believe in the afterlife? I think in like reincarnation of energy. That's a whole different topic, but I believe that our energy goes somewhere, yes. I want to do more videos kind of about spirituality in general. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. How did you discover your passion for filmmaking, and where do you see yourself in 5 years if you continue down this path? Your shorts are amazing, by the way. Thank you. Through being on set as an actor, I realized that I am a control freak ultimately and have a lot to say, and I wanted to tell my own stories, and so that's kind of how I got into filmmaking. In 5 years, I see myself hopefully making movies. I have a TV pilot that I'm writing that I really want to like sell and get made as a TV show. So like hopefully by then the TV show that is my like baby is in the works, and I'll have hopefully directed a feature film, and just, you know, that I would have like a career in film that is supporting me financially would be my goal for the next 5 years. How have people in your life reacted to your alcohol video? Really positively for the most part. I think I didn't know if I was gonna regret that video, honestly. Even when I posted it, I was really nervous, but most people close to me already knew that this was something that I was doing, and so like the more surprising reactions came from people that aren't in my like daily life, or at least haven't been since quarantine, you know. And a couple friends reached out and they were like, oh my gosh, I stopped drinking too, and like, oh my god, let's talk about it. And so that was really, really cool and made me feel really good about posting the video. Ultimately, not everyone is gonna fully understand it, and it's not that they're negative reactions. Like, no one's like, oh, that's stupid. There's just people who have made me feel like what I was explaining, that I just didn't try hard enough, or that there's like some way to make this work, when I'm trying to be clear about the fact that like it's not for me. It will definitely, I think, show you people's true colors or intentions with you, how they react to something like this. If it's something that they kind of turn onto themselves, that's evident. You know, if they don't react positively, do they really have your best interest at heart? Are you ever gonna make short films again? Yes. I realize it's been a year. Quarantine definitely contributed to that, but I really want to do, I don't want to say too much, but I really want to do like a little anthology type series of like 1 minute or really short films that are filmed in quarantine. I think that it'll stretch me creatively, and I think part of me feels like there's a lot of pressure on me to post really high quality, like higher budget short film material on this channel because I have in the past. I know that you guys would understand like the circumstances of my at-home quarantine short films, but I think it would still be really cool. So I really want to do something like that, and I have some other stuff in the works. Some of the content that I'm coming up with is a little bit more like spoken word, cinematic. I'm trying to kind of gear content towards that way, and then also going to be doing more vlogs, but like really well shot cinematic vlogs. And so that's why I kind of wanted this Q&A to be. I'm sorry if it's a little bit long. I wanted it to be really comprehensive and answering a lot of these questions just in case I don't kind of do like a sit down. Not that I'm never going to do a sit down video like this anymore, but I'm trying to steer into more things that align with like my creativity. But that being said, these are all the questions that I'm going to answer today. Thank you guys so much, all of you who submitted questions on my Instagram. I'm trying to get better at Instagram. I really am. I know that I never post, but go follow me because I'm trying to just align all of my social medias with like what I feel is my creative purpose, if that makes sense. And so I'm starting to take it really, you know, a lot more seriously. If you've noticed, I've posted YouTube videos every week for a month now, which might seem like not a big deal, but for me, having dealt with struggling with consistency with YouTube in the past and not feeling confident in posting videos and feeling like no one wants to watch it, I'm ultimately really proud of myself. Let me know what kind of videos you want me to make or topics you want me to cover down in the comment section below. Subscribe because there really are new videos every week. Can't you tell? Like, I'm actually doing it. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you endlessly. I'm so grateful for this space that we share, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.